Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya 300,000 rand as a wedding gift for his son. A recording of Matlala confessing to investigators was played before the Matlanga Commission this afternoon. Now, Matlala was recorded by Witness C, one of the detectives who arrested him back in May. And assessments are underway to determine the extent of damage left by Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica, Haiti and Cuba. The storm left at least 32 people dead across the region. Although downgraded from a Category 5 to Category 1 storm, Melissa gathered speed as it swept through the Bahamas today. The storm is expected to make landfall in Bermuda later. It is also considered to be the strongest storm to strike the Caribbean islands in modern history. It's stronger than Hurricane Katrina, which devastated parts of the U.S. back in 2005. Killing over 1,390 people. A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng tomorrow, with afternoon thundershowers expected. Johannesburg drops to an overnight low of 13 degrees, peaking at a high of 22. Both Pretoria and Vereeniging drop to 15, peaking at 24. Monkey Ziko Ko, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
The show is always up.
Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show as always.
Great show as always. Thanks.
Great show as always.
Great show as always, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful show, Robert. Thank you so much. It always gives me pleasure to speak to someone who's got such an insight.
I love the introduction.
Hey, what is show Marawa?
I
don't know, maybe you are still calling Mr. Mazuputu, or maybe that does not exist.
Show Robbie. World Cup, here we come.
mustn't be MPMP.
I'm not a new. Why you are saying I'm new?
Ake ngikube lemsakazi ngesiqinje sakudala. Ngithi nje kuwena, diye msakazi, awusuka madoda, diye msakazi.
And another one. Marizan Cap with a fifer in a World Cup semi-final.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning.
Job well done. Big up. Congratulations to the coach. And then we need to remove that word acting, because she's not acting, but rather she's coaching. David in Parkwood.
I love that. Tina Sonke Mbuli, are you ready to be the full-time coach?
Banyana is the full-time coach.
I know that.
Yeah.
But if Saf is not paying the coach, what must we do? Darren Keats is on, full flight.
Who is his most feared player when he's faced with? Good show as always.
Dangerous Shalulile!
I won't say most feared, but I love coming up against Shalulile, because we always have a chat to each other in the game, because he's always waiting to score a goal, and I always tell him, when's he going to score. And I think in the game we lost, I don't think he scored, did he? So I won't say he's the most feared player, but I like the challenge. I love the challenge.
Probably because he tucks his shirt in all the time. He kind of looks like a little prefect.
Yeah.
Like, hey, how can we help you?
Yeah.
How can we help you?
And there it is! It's Shalulile again! My word!
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
I bet when he says my word, Shalulile, my word, it's raining down in Durban. How's it around the country, the continent, or the world? This is Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood.
Let's go!
The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
All Right, amongst many other things that are happening down in Durban, I can tell you the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture was down here a couple of days ago. All sorts of preparations ahead of the Durban City game. They're playing tomorrow. They're playing against Kaizer Chiefs, so big activity already, you can tell, all the way from Pietermaritzburg down to Durban. The expectations, the colours of Kaizer Chiefs very prominent these days. And how will that game pair out, though? The City coach, head coach, that's Gavin Hunt, well, he says is very excited to host Kaizer Chiefs tomorrow. That game's going to be at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. It is optimistic. He is definitely optimistic about securing a positive result. And speaking ahead of the highly anticipated clash, Hunt expressed confidence, though, in his squad's preparation, as well as hunger to perform against one of South Africa's most storied clubs.
Well, we're excited. They can't hear, can they? It's really excited. We're excited for the game on Friday. For a club just been promoted, to be in this situation and have a chance to play a game of this magnitude, in early in the season is really good for the players, especially, and for the club. And hopefully, we can come out the game with a positive result. So we're all looking forward to the game. As I said, what we've done so far, it's been really, really good in my opinion. To accumulate so many points. Now we've got to really, it's going to grind. It's going to be tough for us going forward, because standards have been set, and we obviously need to maintain those type of standards and try and improve and try and finish the season really well. I know it's not even halfway yet, but games of this magnitude obviously certainly gets everybody up for it. I can just look at the support here; it's fantastic. The club is growing day by day, and this club can really be a force to be reckoned with in the future, I believe, from experience. So. We need your support there the weekend. Please, everybody, come and support. And don't support the team in good times only. Support the team in bad times. That's when you need your support. All over the world, supporters, and I think that's important. Stay behind the players. It's not for a lack of trying. And this club will certainly go in the right direction, in my opinion.
Right, very massive words there coming through from coach Gavin Hunt. And while Hunt and his men are dipped to bring Chiefs back down to earth after reaching the CAF Confed Cup group stage last weekend, and also to extend Kaizer Chiefs' 3-game winless run in the league, Hunt knows it would be dangerous to underestimate.
I think when you play a club of the size of Kaizer Chiefs, they never have in a bad moment, because they've always got that massive support behind them, and it'll drag them across the line in games and make them win games when they possibly shouldn't win games. So they're the biggest club in South Africa, numbers-wise, support base-wise. And when they come to Durban, they generally do get more supporters here. So we are under no illusions. We need our support base, obviously, to grow. But they can only grow while the team grows. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it overnight. And as I said, when you face a team like Kaizer Chiefs, they're never in bad form, in my opinion. Because one little moment can turn it for them. And that's with the crowd support behind them, So it's going to be really tough for us and for them. Because we're a competitive team, and we obviously want to, put our stamp on the game.
Well, Hunt wants to see a reaction, though, coming through from his players against Amakosi. The Citizens were dumped out of the Colling knockout last weekend following a 3-1 defeat, though, to Richards Bay in the quarterfinals, having squandered the lead to be taken to extra time. Now, City are fourth on the log with 15 points, just one behind third-place Chiefs, who have a game in hand.
I think people sometimes fantasize about football, and people live in a dream world about football. The reality of football is, if we defend the last 2 games, we're third and we're in the next round of the cup. We know we should have defended the last couple of minutes. So the fine margins is about those type of things, and we will grow as a team. And we have to learn sometimes. Sometimes you don't learn by winning, you learn by those little things. And I think we've learned a lot the last 2 games. We need that game mentality, that game intelligence to play the last few minutes, which has cost us. So it's going to happen to every team in the world, teams who spend hundreds of millions of pounds or rands, So it can happen to anybody. We just got to get out of that, and we got to do those things better. The things you're saying, what are we doing differently? If we do those things better, like with the last 2 games, I think we get better results. And there's no secret formula to it. Well, mentally, how do you get out of situations mentally? Do you become weak, or do you become stronger? So we got to react. We need a reaction. We need a mental shift. Those things we work on daily at training. There's a lot of interaction with players, But players themselves have to get out of that, and the group itself has to stick together and get out of these situations. There's no secret formula in any level of sport. everybody's got to do better at their jobs and be a little bit better and a little bit more in their departments, and we will be better as a team.
All right, moving away from Coach Kevin Hunter, let's find out what Coach Hugo Broos, well, he's confirmed that his squad for the upcoming AFCON as well as 2026 FIFA World Cup will remain largely unchanged, emphasizing continuity and also trust in his current group of players. Broos made it clear that while a couple of new faces may be considered, the core of the team is already established and will carry through both of the major tournaments.
First of all, about the players, okay. I think the selection for AFCON will not change a lot. That depends also of injuries and so on. We hoped already to have Temba back, but you see, he's still not there. So those things are playing a role in the next weeks. But it's not a secret that the players who were there with some other players, but not 5 or 6, maybe 2 or 3, that will be the selection who will go to AFCON. And after that, it's exactly the same. I knew that after AFCON of -20 and the World Cup, that there were already people who asked me, yes, they will now come to the Bafana. No, this is too soon. This is too soon. So let them please play in more international games. That is the most important thing. And then little by little, if you can, maybe for the World Cup, I don't know, but maybe for the World Cup, maybe we can take maybe 1 or 2 guys already. I don't know, because that depends on so many things. But little by little, we have to now to introduce them in Bafana. It's a little bit a pity for them then that we play friendly games, but those are preparation to World Cup after New Year and now for AFCON. So if it shouldn't have been the same situation than last June, we could take maybe 5, 6 players and said, come on guys, you go with us now. But you can't do that now.
Oh man. You know, when you listen to Hugo Broos and he's explaining things, and he'll always tell you so that you don't find yourself disappointed later on and say, oh, I didn't know. So he says, no, the players, basically, those that you've seen playing right now are going to be my players that are going to go to the World Cup. So if any player that's plying their trade anywhere internationally all of a sudden discovers, in inverted commas, that they are South African and they can play for South Africa, and they say they're available to play, believe you me, the answer is going to be a big no. No. No, thank you. You know, people have been watching and asking us, what's our opinion about what's happening at Liverpool? I mean, there's been a massive slump. I think beneath the surface, there's a darker game that's kind of unfolding. And who might be that is at fault? Because on the flip side, you've also got a Manchester United that's on the up and up. Oh my goodness.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
She is the caretaker coach. My goodness, did she take care of business. Coach, Tina Sonkembuli, was it difficult to cut out the noise because the noise was there?
It was difficult, but at the same time, I think coach prepared us. But I think 4 days or 5 days prior to that, we knew that the coach is not coming. It's that we knew that we only had one round, which was going to Congo and coming back home and win the game.
Obviously, I mentioned the name of Thembi Kgatlan, a shining example of a professional footballer.
We missed them, not just to Thembi, Morilda and the seniors in the first leg. So we knew that coming back home we had more options in terms of our offensive play.
How did you know Girl is on fire.
#MSW.
Right, talking about girls being on fire, guys, let's quickly recap what happened yesterday because we're still pretty much in disbelief. Marawa Cup praising South Africa's composure and unity after their historic win over England, securing a spot in the Women's ODI World Cup final for the very, very first time. Cup would deliver a match-winning all-round performance, though, with 5 wickets and also 42 runs, reflected on the team's mindset following a difficult net session 2 days before the semi-final. And despite early struggles, she said the squad found a collective calm that carried them through the pressure and all the other pressure moments.
Yeah, look, it's my second fiver and the second one against England in a World Cup, but happy to do that in a World Cup semi-final. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. No, I think, look, there was a calmness in the group this morning for some reason. We just felt like what will happen will happen. And yeah, I think once we lost the toss, I was actually happy that we batted first. Just looking at the stats of this ground and how it's been going this World Cup, I feel like they probably felt like they were going to roll us over, like we did in the first game against them. But I feel like our 2 openers set it up beautifully for us to come in and just play our natural game.
All right, just before I played that, I was talking about the slump that Liverpool are currently experiencing and also just the upsurge that Man United are currently going through. And I thought, let's have a quick word. Let's put in a quick word. Let's go worldwide and find out from the New York Times journalist, Tariq Panja, who is an investigative journalist for the New York Times and also co-author of Football's Secret Trade, a searing expose on the sports hidden economy, from Anfield's unraveling to the billion-dollar deals that shape the destinies. Well, it's not just about football, guys, I can tell you. Tariq, always great to have you on. I know you've been transporting yourself all over the place right now. You just got off, and thank you so much for affording us that opportunity because you don't want to go in a slump that Liverpool's currently going through. What do we attribute that to?
A number of things. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to join you. And yeah, look, Liverpool obviously. So I think we have to go back to last season. I think they surprised everybody by winning that league in the first season under Arne Slot. Because if you're honest, nobody expected that to happen. And the pre-season that preceded the triumph in the transfer market, very little changed. Enrique Chiesa came in, he didn't really play. And the signing of Mamadashvili, the goalkeeper who arrived this season, they were the only trade. So it was a very consistent team. And fast forward 12 months, so much has happened. And the first thing we can't overlook is the awful and tragic death of Diego Jota in the summer. Now, not only a great football player and all the rest of it, but the emotional toll something like that must take on his teammates. He was particularly close to Mohamed Salah, for example, and many, many others. That has to be kind of factored in, the emotional element of something like that. And then you have to look at the very, very un-Liverpool-like trading window. 400 million spent plus in the transfer market. All of those players coming in into really attacking positions. Even the fullbacks that were purchased in Frimpong and Kirkes, they seem to be with an attacking intent in mind rather than any particular skills they have defensively, which we've seen. And then you look at where they are thin, which is in the number 6 position where Graham Birch plays, and at central defense, where there was that last-minute chaotic bid for Mark Gui of the Crystal Palace captain that didn't come through, and you kind of had in a perfect storm. Plus, it's very hard to see a discernible style that Arne Slot is trying to impose. So all these purchases, they've scrambled the mind of the coach in a way, because he's almost planning for the future while in a way having the past still in there, with Mohamed Salah still in this team, playing in this 4-3-3 formation, but with buying 2 number 9s in Ekitike and Alexander Isak, which was also protracted. He didn't get a start in the team for a few weeks. To be honest, he hasn't started at all, really. It doesn't look like he's ready to play a game of football in that red shirt. All of this has amounted to this mess that we are seeing here, these consecutive defeats, which really and truly could have started well before they did. That the winning run they started with was very deceptive in that those games were far from convincing.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, Tariq. When we come back from the break, we'll continue our conversations or any questions that you might have for him. We've also got, as I said, a Kaizer Chiefs representative in studio down in Durban.
Hashtag MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. Hashtag MSW.
Hi, Mzansi. I want to bring something heart-wrenching to light. Global soullessness. The numbers don't lie. The world is in desperate need of soul. You see, 99.21% of the world is not South African, meaning only 0.8% of the world gets to experience soul food on a daily. This is a result of the fact that South Africa contains 99.8% of all chicken lickens globally, well above the average. The math is, not mathing. But count yourself lucky because you can help the rest of the world. How? By becoming a Soulfluencer, and you'll stand a chance to win a trip to anywhere in the world. You can also win your share of up to 20 million rand in instant prizes along the way. Visit soulfoodtotheworld.com or Chicken Licken's socials to find out how you can show your support and win. T's and C's apply. Chicken Licken. Soul food.
Crafted to be ultra sleek and premium. The Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge on Cell C. Save up to 3,600 Rand on this fantastic deal with Cell C. Get the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge for 999 Rand per month and get 5 gigs and 600 minutes for 3 months absolutely free. Go in store or call 084145. Offer valid until 31 October. T's and C's apply. Switch to C. Cell C.
Dlala Madluli, coach. The games are out. Who are you betting on?
Dlala Madlamin, top player. On Sports Stake 4, I'm going with the strongest defense.
Nice one, coach. But I'm going with the goals.
What is that, Coach Amanda? Now it's up to the fans to Dala or rather Dlala what they must. Dlalu 4.
Sports Stake 4 for only 2 Rand. Pick win, lose or draw for 4 games and you could win. Play at any participating National Lottery retailer. Be enjoy a game. Panda, push up, play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
South Africa, are you ready to switch up your life? Switch Energy Drink is giving you the chance to win one of 20 brand new Omoda C7s and your share of 20 million Rand in prizes. Smartphones, cash, shopping vouchers, airtime and data all up for grabs. Buy a switch, dial *120*440#. Follow the prompts on screen, enter the unique code under the tab of your can and you could be our next big winner. Go get your hands on a can and switch up your life. T's and C's apply.
Joburg businesses, this is it. The Primedia Prime Impact Sales Event is here, 3 to 7 November.
Register now and get a free demo commercial revealed live at the event, a tailored campaign for your business, and access to exclusive annual partnerships.
Primedia is SA's leading media company with the audience reach and products to grow your brand.
Seats are nearly gone. Register today at primeimpact.co.za.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Darren Keats is on, full flight. The first time when you went to KV, you had a contract sitting on the table from Mamelodi Sundowns.
I don't know about that.
I know it was there. Yogesh put the contract there on the table. Trotmanot was part of those negotiations. And when you compare the Belgian contract to the one you're going to get at Sundowns, from a monetary perspective, Sundowns were giving you more. Is that a lie?
I never ever once saw a contract from Mamelodi Sundowns.
You never did?
Never ever. I know there was discussions, but never saw a contract from them.
How come?
I don't know. I know there was interest. I know they spoke to my manager at the time.
Sean Bester was there?
Yes.
But Sundowns were offering you more money. If you're hearing this for the first time, I'm telling you.
Yes. I wouldn't know.
But you just wanted to go to Europe, though, regardless.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah.
So your agent saw it, but you didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Good evening, Robert Marawa and MSW shareholders. Rob, it doesn't rain at Anfield. It pours. Rob, I really don't know what's going on at Liverpool, and I don't think it's the right time now to say let's change the coach. No problem. It's not a good time. Sometimes coaching is a process. It's a process, Rob, whereby we have to be patient and patient. Then the result will come. If then the end result doesn't come, it's whereby we can take a decision, Rob, that no, let the coach recuse itself. But for now, Rob, it's still early. Yes, I know we have lost 4 games in a row, but for now, Rob, it's not the right time to change the coach. Thank you, Rob. Tebeta return all the way from Amalia in the Northwest.
Thank you so much indeed. Love the conversation that we're having with Tariq Panja. As we said, he is joining us and coming through live right here on hashtag MSW as we break it down with regards to what's happening at Liverpool. Now, sorry, just so many questions are coming through here, Tariq, as I'm chatting to you live on the stream. But just going back to that voice note, and says it's too early to fire the coach. Yes, the fans will have a dig at Arne Slot and say you're getting fired in the morning, as they would with any other coach, just to rub them the wrong way. But do you think, though, that his patterns and what we have, and I understand every single bit of what you explained before the break, and it makes sense, and at times when you've come out of a moment of grief like Liverpool have, but also tactically, you've also lost a couple of very top players as well. Does he have the acumen now to start his own independent journey outside of what Jurgen Klopp had set up before?
Well, that's in question. That's for us to wait and find out. I will say he'll be awarded a degree of patience. Of course, football is a febrile environment, particularly nowadays with social media, and what we see online and kind of exacerbates situations that are difficult into crises and crises into catastrophes. So I think it's a moment to take stock. The other thing I would say is maybe we should count this as the moment of Arne Slot's kind of true, and it's a very strange thing for me to say, arrival as the Liverpool manager. The reason I say this is we talked about last season in that he kept things pretty straightforward, pretty simple, very similar to the Klopp mentality, if a little bit more conservative. The heavy metal element of the heavy metal football was gone, but it was effectively the same formation, the same players, all knew each other, and he kind of trusted them to do that. But this year, it's him imposing his style. Maybe that takes a bit longer with 5, 6 new additions to the first team, not just to the squad. And if you look back to, say, Pep Guardiola's first season at Manchester City, that was very rocky, and then we saw what happened afterwards. Now, I'm not saying Arne Slot is going to be Pep Guardiola, but when you are trying to impose something in a league like the Premier League, which is the most competitive environment in the world, and at a time when there are almost no time to do any coaching, there are so many games with all these new competitions being expanded and things like that, he definitely deserves a degree of time because he just won the league as well, of course. But that's what I'm trying to say. There's nuance and time should be afforded to the guy.
But isn't that part of the problem that he won the league in his first season? So what do you do then after that? It's either you win it and then you win it back to back to back so that you cement that it wasn't. Because now the patience levels start to take their toll. Now you got this one dreaded team that's beaten you 3 times in the same year. And everybody looks and they say, come on. You talked about Mark Guehi early on. Tariq, and he could have gone across to Liverpool. He would have made such a big difference. But now he's on the winning side with the team that he ended up staying behind for.
Well, this is where I think the decision-making is a bit scrambled. So if you look at that Crystal Palace match you're referring to from last night, obviously in the pantheon of competitions that Liverpool are in, the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, and this Carabao Cup or the League Cup, it is the very lowest on the rung, and but if you go by the fact that this team has lost 4 matches in a row or whatever, and trying to arrest this very negative spiral it's in, then to put the team he put out yesterday and then to lose on home soil at Anfield so convincingly, it kind of makes the hole a lot deeper than it was, even though it is this League Cup. That's what I mean. It just seemed the very, very wrong thing to do at the wrong time. Yes, Liverpool put weakened teams out in that competition. Other major teams or teams that are competing on four fronts do the same. But was last night the night to put out perhaps the kind of most lightweight team Liverpool has put out in that competition for a very long time? I would say no, because what does it do? It exacerbates the negative narrative as well, and the reaction to it was voluble, more negativity, and then they're going into these games now. They can't catch a break. The fixture calendar hasn't been kind to them. They are going into Aston Villa, who finally started to win away from home. They've got to play Manchester City and Real Madrid. This is just a nightmare scenario that the guy finds himself in.
Early on, I was reading a Daily Mail article written by Craig Hope, and his main headline really spoke about the fact that Arne Slot disrespected Liverpool's proud traditions with the selection of self-harm. He says that the Carabao Cup is the best domestic cup in the world, and it does matter. So it goes back to, the importance of a cup competition. And obviously in the article, he goes and explains further about that. Says, forget the temptation to label it disrespectful to the competition. The Carabao Cup will be just fine without this version of Liverpool. This was an act of self-harm. So here... moving forward, I don't know. I mean, I know sometimes journalists use words. Would you attribute that to self-harm?
I think it's in the context for Liverpool, and I mentioned it just in what I said before, is self-harm. But look, Robert, if you run a poll right now of your listeners, they will not say that the League Cup, Carabao Cup, is the best domestic cup in the world. It isn't even the best domestic cup in England, is it? The FA Cup has a far deeper tradition. Craig Hope, obviously he thinks that, and Newcastle fans and the public there really enjoyed their day out, and they finally won a trophy last season. So maybe that tints the coverage there. But what I would say. Also, don't forget when Liverpool won the Carabao Cup last time, I think in Klopp's last season. Let's remember the team he put out in that competition, and the team that finished winning the competition. This was a bunch of kids, not to the extent that we saw last night, but to say that he's this, that, and the other, the assassin of this competition or whatever, and its great traditions, I think is slightly over the top.
A quick one. Let's squeeze in a team that's going in a completely different direction. And a couple of weeks ago, all the pundits all over the world, former players, you name them, were saying, come on, this guy is going to go home. He's not made up for this. He's too stubborn. He wants to stick to a formation that's never, ever going to work. But you look at Manchester United, and they almost in there now. They're in Champions League position. They're playing. They're getting the positive results. There seems to be a bit of fluidity that is working there. What do you make of that upsurge?
What I make of it is players on form. Cunha in particular, Mbuemo. The team it's got a. This is the thing about football. The psychology of teams as well is it's often overlooked. These people are finally feeling a little bit freer. There's as we talk about Liverpool, a negative spiral. There is a positivity about Manchester United, but I think it's so early to say, they've turned a massive corner here, and here they come roaring up the league, and they're going to be in contention. Look, they might make the Champions League and things like that. Maybe they should as well, given the roster of talent that they have. This was a busy summer there as well, and they should. However, what I will say. Is in the history of the Premier League, and maybe your listeners can correct me, no team, actually there's one, I think it was a Chelsea team under Conte, I think, playing three at the back, has won the Premier League. It's very, very rare to win the Premier League, and the Premier League started in 1992, and I've mentioned just one team playing in that formation, winning the Premier League. Yes, they are doing better. Could they do any worse? No. Should they be going up the league? Yes, they should. Is it is this now this is the direction of travel? Well, I guess we'll see. Will Manchester United win the Premier League playing 3 at the back or 5 at the back? I'll be amazed if a Ruben Amorim team playing with that formation wins the Premier League.
Always fascinating. Tariq Panja, the New York Times journalist, joining us right here on #MSW. Thank you so much, Tariq. Chat to you soon.
Chat to you soon. Thanks, Robert. All the best.
He is explaining it very nicely so. What's happening to Liverpool? Good Lord. Is this the hangover now of Jurgen Klopp? Is this the hangover or what? I don't know. Jurgen Klopp's hangover? I don't know. Because the players are there. The coach is there. What's wrong? What's wrong, Liverpool? What's wrong?
Oh man, they were saying the same thing. What's wrong, Kaizer Chiefs? What's wrong? And that's why tonight we kind of turn the spotlight on the East Coast here, where the Friday night lights are going to be flickering back to life in Durban, a city that's kind of bracing itself for a big showdown. Durban City preparing to host the mighty Kaizer Chiefs in a Betway Premiership clash that could tilt the table and also test the soul of two proud clubs. City now locked in a 3-way tie on 15 points. If you look at the table, they sit just one behind the Glamour Boys. They're pretty hungry for that victory as well. But what about Tamakosi? I mean, the Soweto Giants are third on the log with 18 points. They're searching pretty desperately for some form of rhythm. I think that's what's been missing, rhythm. Winless in their last 6 domestic outings, 5 league games without a draw. So the pressure is mounting, though, on co-coaches Cedric Kaze as well as Khalil Ben Youssef to restore the gold and black's shine again. And so to help us unpack the mood in the camp, the expectations, the mission ahead, we're joined by the voice of the village. Hey, that's a nice nickname to give this man. Now, the voice of the village. Might not be the late, village pope, but is the voice of the village. A man who speaks for the badge. I mean, he is the corporate communications manager of Kaizer Chiefs. He's right here in studio. He's just come off a meeting, an online meeting. Can you believe it? I'm chatting to Tariq Panja, the one corner. He's busy with an online meeting, making sure that everything is sorted for the game tomorrow. Vina Maposa, always good to see you, sir. Welcome.
Robbie, do they still call you Madluput?
They always, why not?
Bob?
Of course.
Everything.
MSW. Why?
It's multicast, Baba.
You know the story.
Kumuvuma uSoweto 947 yonke ndawo.
Everywhere, bro.
Yeah? Meet you on the highways and byways. You are all over, Robson.
You see the colors of Kaizer Chiefs, spotting you in funny places this morning.
No, you can't hide Kaizer Chiefs.
You can't
hide. Hence we are here and in Durban. Home away from home. Excited to be here. And I've always confessed to our supporters that this is one place where we should have a satellite office. I mean, if you saw the scenes at the airport, King Shaka International Airport this afternoon, you'd mistaken it as a Friday or a Saturday. Gold and black welcoming the team landing at King Shaka Airport. And as you mentioned, coming out of the meeting now, preparing for the match tomorrow, I mean, just over 20,000 tickets sold. I mean, for a Friday floodlights match that is likely to be sold out. And that has been, our name, since the start of the season. Despite in your intro, talking about our fortunes in terms of the past 6 games, we find ourselves in a good space relatively compared to last season. Started very well, amazingly very well. If you compare the points that we amassed now, this time last season, I'm sure 6 behind. And by all likelihood, we will be competing this season. We are a contender for finishing in the Champions League spot. And don't forget, we are likely to also win the Confederations Cup. So by winning Confed Cup, we'll automatically get into the Champions League.
But
so
what's
we'll use all the handles to get into the Champions League.
But if you had to talk about the one focus, what do you say is the primary focus for Kaizer Chiefs? Because like you're saying, when you said you were contenders and then you stopped, I was waiting for you to say contenders to win the Betway Premiership League title.
where we're standing, we can't choose. We can't prioritize. You prioritized when you're coming at the back of back-to-back wins and perhaps double cup win competitions kind of a situation. So we are sitting at the point where we want to recover our status in the league so that we send shivers to everybody who plays against us. I mean, if you recall and you talk to players in the past, that would tell you that when you played Kaizer Chiefs in the past, opponents shivered when you lined up on the tunnel. So we're sending water cannons to our opponents at the moment to make sure that we restore the fear factor. You play Kaizer Chiefs at your own risk of losing the match. So that is one. Number two is that we've already started, by the way, to collect silverware. It's still fresh in the minds of everybody that we scooped the Nedbank Cup that sent, the country, to a frenzy.
And do you remember where exactly you won
It
that
happened
cup?
in Durban.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
It's the big deal weekend at OK, and we're going big so you can go home with more. Save big on First Choice Long Life UHT milk, assorted 1 litre. Get a 6-pack for just 89 Rand. Rama Original 70% fat spread, 500 gram brick for only 25 Rand. And Aquafresh toothpaste, assorted 100 ml, any 2 for 26 Rand. 4 days only, 30 October to 2 November. OK, owners you can count on.
Wake up and plug in. Your weekend just got a remix. Nick Music is back. Groove along to chart-topping hits, dance-offs, and moments that trend. Plus, get smart with our brand new Money Smarts with Nedbank. Learn to save, spend, and plan like a pro with fun financial tips made just for you. Tune in, turn it up, and take control of your sound and your sense. Catch Nick Music every weekend morning at 9 a.m. on Nicktoons DSTV channel 308.
Dlala Madludlu, coach. The games are out. Who are you betting on?
Dlala Madlamin, top player. On Sports Stake 4, I'm going with the strongest defense.
Nice one, coach. But I'm going with the goals.
What's that, Coach Amanda? Now it's up to the fans to dala or rather dlala what they must. Dlalu 4.
Sports Stake 4 for only R2. Pick win, lose or draw for 4 games and you could win. Play at any participating National Lottery retailer. Be enjoy a game. Panda push up play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Summer in SA. It's shorts, shades and braais on repeat. When it comes to lighting up the braai, no need to stress. Vic's got your back with a flame that never flakes. Unlike some of your friends. With up to 750 lights, the big mega light has got your whole summer covered. Take braai season to the next level and stand the chance to win one of 10 ultimate braai kits worth 5,000 Rand when you buy any big mega lighter or big fire lighters. See in store for details. Because braais are best with Bic.
Between deadlines, soccer games, workouts, and nappy changes, we're always on the go. And our skin works just as hard as we do. That's why families trust SBR emollient creams, science-backed hydration that restores what life takes out. SBR Repair and New Repair Advanced hydrate and care for eczema-prone skin. SBR Protect soothes dry skin, ideal for the whole family. And for rough patches, there's SBR Renew.
Developed with dermatologists, powered by Skin Identical Ingredients. Allergy Foundation endorsed. SBR. Real skin support for real life. Available at pharmacies.
Something big is happening when the family group chat explodes, like the Chamberlain Big Summer Splash promotion, on from 23 October to 9 November. 10% off finest 1903 paint mixing. That's incredible! Amazing deals on outdoor, braai, pool and camping gear. Even the dogs joining in with our social media puppy paw pick competition for a chance to win 1,000 Rand. And what's that? You can meet Bucky's Boots live in store at Centurion. Come make a splash with the whole family. Chamberlain, famous for hardware since 1903.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Darren Keats is in, full flight.
John Comites speaking to Rob on Friday. Darren, he cited that there were players who were part of the team that got relegated and were not prepared to go down to Motsepe Foundation Championship. What was your departure at Cape Town City?
Tebogo, thank you so much indeed. Be honest. Spoke to John. He said what he said.
I don't think there's anything I didn't try to save the team with, and apart from stepping on the field myself.
No, so look, I knew knew they had signed a keeper already. They don't have the money to continue with both of us. The new guys coming in, and they're going to have to try and get rid of my salary pretty much.
I mean, just whisper to me, the mics are off. Would you really have gone to the first division?
I would have, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've been there before.
I know that.
As long as I was earning the same money I would have been okay with it.
And playing regularly.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
It is hashtag MSW Marawa Sports Worldwide coming through live from our Durban studios, broadcasting wherever you are in and around the country, the continent, or the world. Vina Mapasa is my guest right here. He is in studio. It's a big preparation ahead of the big game tomorrow. He's the corporate communications manager at Kaizer Chiefs. Vina, just a quick breakdown. We haven't had an opportunity since the role of the co-coaches, Cedric Kaze and Khalil Ben Yusuf, were put together. From a Chiefs perspective, this arrangement is what you have for up until the end of the season, or clarify that, because some people are saying that maybe you're looking for a coach to come in midstream and they revert back to the original roles. Yeah.
So let us put this into perspective. We find ourselves in a situation that we didn't plan for. So we didn't anticipate that before the end of contract of Coach Nabi would be have parted ways, and it was eventuality, and it was sparked by certain internal and confidential matters that we parted ways with him. So immediately we had to take action, and we found immediate solution by virtue of the assistants at the time, that is Kazi as well as Khalil, who are capable. Both of them, have got stripes and a background that qualifies them to coach any team. I mean, Kazi has been with Burundi national team at some point. Khalil has been in and around as well. So we found that there was no need, because remember, we didn't part ways with the coach given, kind of performance related kind. It was just nuances and technicalities that happen within an organization and within the space of employer and employee relationship. So we found that this is the best solution at this stage. So we're sitting at a point where working in progress, and in the nature of football, I can say today that we're not planning to bring in a new coach, and it can so happen that the coach decides to resign to pursue other endeavors, and then you call me tomorrow, you said, but you are not looking for a coach. So we're sitting pretty, we're comfortable, we have the two coaches working well, and relatively, performance coming along nicely. We might have not won matches, but we have not lost, drastically like your team Liverpool. So we have not. Let's leave that one for another day. So, but that is just as an example.
Sure.
So the two coaches are doing well, qualified us to a historic Confederations Cup group stages. We've not been there before, and if you recall, we've even been accused previously of taking Confed Cup lightly. But we have done well in Champions League, reaching the finals in 2021. But this one is a momentous occasion, and we give it up to the two coaches.
So do you remember what happened in the approach to that final that you talk about in the Champions League?
The approach in terms of many things happen.
From a coaching perspective.
Okay, first I just remember it was during COVID. But then when you talk about the coach, we had Asazwani at the time, we had Stuart Baxter at the time, and we went to the final with Stuart. And being qualified,
Do you remember a certain Gavin Hunt?
Oh yes. And that is the coach that we're playing against tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
So do
I
you
recall.
think he might? He might have something in the back of his mind. I mean, I know that you talk about COVID coming. Yes, sure. But that wasn't part of the thing. It was the ban where you were not able to sign players. So his hands were pretty tied, amongst many other things that were problematic.
Yeah.
But it's always important for somebody who I think
Yeah.
never quite got the opportunity to rubber stamp who Gavin Hunt is at Kaizer Chiefs. He has a completely new chapter to begin with. Clean slate with Durban City to rewrite his own history now. And he could put the injury to Chiefs tomorrow.
Not only that, I mean, remember you talking about Gavin Hunt, who's tried and tested.
Yeah.
He has won titles, I think with SuperSport mainly. He's won the championship, I think, 2008 with SuperSport. He's won several FA Cups, a la Nedbank Cup and stuff like that. And wouldn't have employed him if he didn't have credentials and the pedigree to coach a club of Kaizer Chiefs stature. But I've seen and listened to him, and even yesterday or today they held a press conference, and his demeanor and his projection of Kaizer Chiefs is the Kaizer Chiefs that he respects. He talks about Kaizer Chiefs as a big team. I've had to work with him, had a privilege of sharing some stories with him. He'll tell you back in the days when Chiefs played against Hellenic in Cape Town, Cape Town used to shut as Kaizer Chiefs landed, and he would tell you about the style, the dress sense of the players, and the kind of, value that we bring to football in South Africa. So he's got utmost respect for Kaizer Chiefs. But as a coach, I'm sure he will be looking at putting one at the back of Kaizer Chiefs. We are aware of that, and he knows how we work. He's been there. He's been at the village. He's been at the training grounds. He knows most of the players that are playing for Kaizer Chiefs. He might have coached at Kaizer Chiefs or elsewhere. So the match has got all the ingredients to make it a very top clash, but we are aware of the danger we faced with a former coach.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to Pravina. Pravina, typically the age limit for ball boys at major tournaments like African Cup of Nations and the FIFA World Cup is 15. However, I have observed my team, Kaizer Chiefs, has been using the under 17 and under 19 academy players as ball boys during this current Confed campaign. Could you please clarify the reasoning behind the use of these age category players instead of the standard age group? Haven't we learned from the Omega Mdaga and Puso Tejani alleged saga? Thank you so much, Tebogoye, and wishing the team all the best tomorrow.
All right, Tebogo, thank you so much. Very briefly, Vina, because we've got lots of voice notes coming in.
Important question. We have no written law on the age limit of the ball retrievers in the PSL, and a good reference to FIFA, which I'm schooled today, and I will go out to research. And talking about the issue of Ditejana and Mdaga Omega, we've had a situation that at that time did not have anything to do with the age. It was just feelings and emotions that went about the players feeling on the day. Perhaps they were not ready, they were tired, and they react in the way that ended up with them parting ways. But that is water under the bridge, and all these are experiences and will be avoided. The players that we use relatively now under 15, there might be some who are under 17, but they are used cautiously given the experience that he alluded to. But it's a fantastic question that he is putting forward for us to be aware as we implement these age groups.
Good evening, Robert. This is the man. Robert, where has Vina been? Because he has been quiet for a while. But I guess maybe he resurrected from them clinching Nedbank Cup and maybe the Confederation Cup. It's what made him resurrect. But I want to congratulate Kaizer Chiefs for job well done up to so far. And I want to know what is their exact target with regards to Confederation Cup, because I know maybe he's featuring there because of Durban City game. But my concern is with Confederation Cup. What is it that they want to see themselves clinching? And what is their ultimate goal regarding sorry, Robert, the Betway League? Good show as always.
All right, brief one, Confed Cup.
Look, our targets are very clear. We want to win every match and every competition that we participate in. I've not resurrected. I'm always around. I've been in studios with you. Not many people see Mfundi Vundla acting on Generation. As a producer, I do play a role in the background and in ensuring that we remain active and present in the media. So in terms of competitions, Robert, we really want to win each and every match. We had a conversation now with Kaizer Junior, our SD, about the match tomorrow. And we had some elements of discussions that resulted in that, by hook or crook, we need 3 points. We need to stay in tune and in touch with the leaderboard, and we want to contest for this league. We want to go for it.
Good evening, Marawa. Good evening to MSW, next guest Uvina. Hi, Rob. I do not have the questions for Uvina because Uvina cannot answer, as the questions in the Funos booth. But I want to comment to Glenn Teta that Kaizer Chiefs needs a rhythm. No, Kaizer Chiefs does not need a rhythm. Kaizer Chiefs needs a coach who will come with his technical team, not people who are trying or who are learning to be head coaches. Ukhalil has never been a head coach. Never. Uyaqala uba a head coach ngo-Kaizer Chiefs. Ukaze was a head coach at Yanga and he failed. Hence, they got Unabi. So those people are trying or are learning to be head coaches. And Kaizer Chiefs is a big team to be coached by people who are learning to be head coaches. Kaizer Chiefs needs to do the right thing and hire Upitso Musiman and his technical team. Then we will cook. Ngosi Rob, Ngosi Yekabeh.
Sia, thank you so much. A brief response there, Vina, saying that you're hiring coaches who are learning how to be head coaches.
This, I think we've got a big task as a media and communications at Kaizer Chiefs. The coaches that we're speaking about are very highly qualified coaches. They have coached before. And I think I take the question, but I take it as a misunderstanding and work that we have not done well, to express and display the credentials of this.
If you had to dispel
coaches.
what he is saying now, how would you do that in a matter of 30 seconds? How would
Highly qualified coaches.
But in terms of the head coach position?
Head coach Kazi in the main, being a national coach of Burundi. Khalil and Kazi, they have been assistants before with the same coach Nabi that left, and we have assessed that element and their credentials, and perhaps it's not enough to the supporter and the caller. And what we believe in, and working with Dr. Mataung and the executive at Kaizer Chiefs, is that we heed the call, and all what is being raised is up for review for us. But in the main, I take one shot in terms of us having clarified the credentials of the men and watch the space. We'll go out, not for the sake of PR or perhaps pushing the agenda of the two coaches, but just to dispel some of the myths around their capability and qualifications.
Because then you'll go, because people will say, but he was in charge of junior national teams there, and not national team per se. So in the end, I understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's just purely to say that the stature of a Kaizer Chiefs deserves a Nabi. It didn't work, so Nabi exits. Who comes into that spot? But hey, let's see. Maybe tomorrow you'll answer the questions on the field of play. Vina Maposa, good to see you, man. Good luck tomorrow.
We are excited to be here, and we're looking forward to a great game. And the questions that are posed and those that perhaps the gentleman mentioned, I will not be able to answer. Let him please send them to you, or next week call you to ask those questions, and we'll put out the right people answers to come and answer those questions. We are available.
I love the commitment. Let's go. All right, this has been Marawa Sports Worldwide. Vina Maposa there of Kaizer Chiefs, the Village Voice. The show's probably brought to you by Hollywood Cats.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Play the game again. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW. Live now on